So I'll put that down there so you can see that. Right, so obviously you cover left-hand turns first, yeah? So the word picture, Andy, will be something like this. My instructor who normally takes me out has gone off playing golf today. He's got the same car as you, so I'm familiar with the controls, and that'll always be the picture. He said today we were going to cover this emerging from minor roads to major roads, left and right, yeah? So, and then what you want to do is try and make a link to find out what he's done before. Now, you could come out and ask him, what did you do in your last lesson?
Yeah.
And he could play around with that, and he could say, oh, I've done a turn in the road, which is really not good to you at this level, yeah? So, I always think it's probably best to come out and ask them, have they ever used the MSPSL before, yeah?
Right.
And the answer is going to be yes, because if you think about it, to enable you to carry out this emerging, to enable you to teach this emerging, they have to drive between the emerges.
Yeah.
So they would have had to have done at least left and right hand turns before, yeah?
Yeah. Got you.
And probably be able to do crossroads quite well, but they've never done emerging.
Yeah.
Yeah? If the subject was left and right hand turns, they would have done emerging last week.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because otherwise you would have to be teaching them two subjects.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Which in a half an hour is just impossible, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
So, have you ever used the mirror signal position speed look routine? Oh yeah, funny enough you say that. I used that last week on left and right hand turns. So then you can actually make links on the brief. Because don't forget, mirror signal position speed look routine. I would have used a lot of parts of that on the left and right hand turns last week, yeah? But they won't transfer any knowledge from the lesson last week because you weren't there.
Right.
So even though they would have done the mirrors and the signal, and in some cases the position, they won't transfer that over until they've heard you talking through it properly, yeah?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because obviously you weren't there last week, yeah?
Yeah.
So they need to know that they can't just assume that, oh, he knows I've done that bit last week, let's just concentrate on the speed and the look. Because he doesn't know if you know how to teach this, yeah?
Yeah.
But as soon as you're actually talking through it, the mirrors and the signal, they will probably say something like, ah, that's exactly the same as what I've done last week on the left and right hand turns.
Got you.
And then all you have to do is come back and say, well, if you like, I'll prompt you on the next one. Yeah, that's fine, yeah? So in other words, they're happy that you've actually taught that, yeah?
Okay.
And then that gives you less to start teaching, yeah?
Fine.
So obviously, the next bit is, and probably the bit that most people struggle with, is you've got to be able to identify these emergers, yeah?
Yeah.
So if you think about it, we're going to be indicating about 6 car lengths away from the emerger.
Yeah.
So to get me to do that, I've got to check the mirrors forehand.
Yes.
Yeah? So we need to start talking about the emerge probably about 12 car lengths away, yeah?
Right.
Yeah? In Luton, he's ever so good with this. He's not really interested in you being able to spot the emerges that much. As soon as you turn into the road, he will tell you straight away, even though it's probably a quarter of a mile down the road, at the end of this road we're going to be turning left, yeah? He's more interested in watching you teach the subject that he's asked you to carry out, yeah?
Okay.
So he's ever so good in that way. But, you know, in some places, these emerges come one after the other, yeah?
Yeah.
So you've really got to be able to spot them.
Okay.
Yeah? So, not only are you going to be spotting them, but you're going to be teaching me to spot them as well. What can we see right at the very end of the road there?
At the end, you've got a building facing
Yeah,
at 90 degrees to these buildings here.
yeah. So we know that's probably an emerger.
Yeah.
What else can we see? Can you see that street lamp right at the end of the road?
Yes.
Yeah? You don't always get a street lamp, but you nearly always do, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Or we could be looking for cars going
Yeah.
from the right to the left, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
So we will know that's an emerger. Right, so... the brief would be, we're going to turn left, we're going to check the interior mirror. I'm not going to go into great detail about what we're looking for at the moment, because you're going to have to fill those gaps in when we get moving anyway.
Yeah.
We're going to signal left, and we're going to signal about 6 car lengths away. Yeah. We're going to keep our normal position. The speed, the way to control me on the speed is get me to cover the brake.
Okay.
Don't need to say come off the gas. Just use the word cover the brakes. Remember what I said to you earlier on? about what I would have learned on lesson number 2, moving up and stopping. I
Yeah.
would have learned different terminology. So cover the brake, I would understand. You wouldn't have to consolidate it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then as we get near the junction, you will talk me into steering towards you, and it's up to you to tell me to stop.
Okay.
Now, the one thing you want to make sure is that I don't stop over that giveaway line. Yeah.
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 Yep.
So once we stop at the giveaway line, it's then, if there's nobody behind you, so what we do, if you set both their mirrors up so you can see as much of the back window as you can,
Okay.
if you've got nobody behind you, you can hold me there in that live emerge and talk to me and give me loads of education, yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
So the first thing you're going to be doing is we need to pick up a reference point, yeah? I need a reference point so I don't encroach over that giveaway line,
Yeah.
yeah? So it's important I don't encroach over that giveaway line. When you ask me to pick up a reference point, I'll actually pick it myself,
Okay.
yeah? So although we show it there to be around about the mirror, yeah? Don't actually tell me where it is because it might be completely different for me, yeah?
Right.
So just actually ask me where does the curb cut into the where does the giveaway line cut into the car, and I'll actually tell you, yeah? It's important you stop me in the right place though.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's going to be every emerge is going to be a disaster. And but obviously, in the early stages, I will tell you that you haven't stopped me in the right place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, you need to pick a reference point for yourself as well from where you're sitting.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And then the second reference point we'll pick up is the one to stop me mounting that curb, because obviously I don't run over a pedestrian on the first
Okay.
emerge. Yeah. So you'll ask me where does the straight bit of curb cut into the car. I will tell you it's exactly where it cuts in. It's probably going to be somewhere around about the tax disc, yeah?
Yeah.
That's your reference point for not putting the front and back wheels over the curb,
Yeah.
which would put pedestrians in danger, yeah? So not only are you telling me what it's for, you're actually telling me the consequences of if it is wrong, yeah?
Yeah.
So the reference point for the giveaway line is to stop me stopping over the white line, because if I encroach over the white line, if this car is coming down the road, it's not turning, it may well swerve around me,
Yeah.
go into this oncoming car, or it may well hit me, yeah? If I stop too far back, I'm not going to be able to see. If anybody comes up behind me, they're going to think, what's this plonker doing? They're going to try overtaking me, and of course, I want to go to the junction, so as they overtake me, and I move forward, we're going to hit each other, aren't we?
Yeah.
So that's the consequences, yeah?
Okay.
So the how on this is nearly always going to be reference points, yeah? Now again, even though we're just at the first emerge, it's important I get in the first gear, and just tell me it's important to be in first gear because otherwise we'll stall, yeah?
Yes. Okay.
Then if there's still nobody behind us, we can actually talk about the look routine. So you tell me to look to the right, and is there anybody coming? No. Now there doesn't have to be somebody coming for you to talk about it. If there was somebody coming, because we're going to be pulling out of this junction, we need to get out in front of this car and we need to get speed up so we don't force this car to slow, stop,
Yeah.
swerve or swear at me, yeah? So to do that I need to be able to walk across and walk back again. So if I
Oh,
reckon
right. Okay.
if I reckon as a pedestrian I could walk from here to there and back again, we call this the walk across, drive across rule, yeah?
Right.
Yeah? I should be able to drive it, and I should be able to get enough speed up and not force this car to take any action. Yeah?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yes. Totally. Yeah.
And then once into the new road, we're going to check the interior mirror just to see if anybody's followed us, and we're going to check the right hand door mirror to see if anybody's overtaken us. And don't forget, as soon as you get a chance, come in with the reason why. It's important that if anybody is overtaken us, we let them go, because the consequence of not letting them go is that they could go head on into this vehicle here, yeah?
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Obviously we can see here we've got a closed junction.
Yep.
Yeah, closed means that we're not going to be able to see anything until we get at the white line, or we may even have to come slightly over the white line, use what we call creep and peep.
Creek and peep.
Yeah?
Yes.
That's the consequences of encroaching on the over the white line, yeah? The car will swerve around you.
Yeah.
Yeah? And then we turn over to the right hand turn. Same routine again.
Yep.
The main difference is that I'm going to take a position to the left of centre. Yeah. So obviously at the first available opportunity, and again it depends on what's happening behind you, you're going to have to talk me into that position.
Okay.
And for me to pick up a reference point, you're going to have to stop me before I get to the giveaway line, otherwise I'll have nothing to line up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to stop about here, so I can pick up a reference point. Where does the centre line of the road cut into the car? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can only do that if I can see the line. Yeah.
Yes.
Again, if there's still nobody behind us, you can hold me there for a second. Yeah. And you can explain it's important to be left of centre, because if we're over the white line, too far to the right of the left of centre line, if anybody comes around the corner, i.e. the road's blocked, or they could come around the corner a bit fast and actually hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm too far to the left of the white line, anybody coming up behind me may think, oh, this plonker's left his indicator on, might try and overtake me.
Yeah.
I carry on down to the junction. They're going past me. We're probably gonna hit each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, we get to the giveaway line, and on the first right-hand turn, because you've only talked me through it once, again tell me when to stop, and again get me to pick a reference point up, because the car is more straighter this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It won't have a great effect on the reference point. So ask me where the giveaway line cuts into the car. I'll tell you. And then if there's nobody behind you, again we can talk about the look routine. Yeah. So if this red car is coming from the right, now if you think about it this time, I'm only actually crossing the path of this car.
Yes.
Yeah?
Agreed. Yeah.
So that's why we've only got the one line going over. If I can walk from here to there, I can drive it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But the car is coming from my left this time. I am actually going to be going into their path, am I?
Yes.
So I need that extra bit of time to get out and get the speed up.
Yeah.
So it's going to be walk across
And back.
and back, yeah? And that's why we put these symbols in here, yeah? So there's not any writing on here, apart from the mirror signal, position, speed, look routine. But the pictures tell a good story, don't they?
They do.
Yeah?
Actually, yeah. It's very
Yeah?
good.
And it just makes it easy to explain, yeah?
Yeah.
So, two things is really important to talk about in the brief, just to alert you to it yourself really, is the identification of how you identify an emerge, yeah?
Yeah.
And the walk across, drive across rule, yeah? And remember, if you didn't give a brief at all, and you covered it fantastically on the move, is anybody really bothered? No.
Mm.
But
Okay.
I wouldn't advise you not to give a brief.
Yeah.
I'd advise you to give some, some kind of a little structured brief, and just basically just outline what we're going to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So we're not going to do a brief today. What we're going to do, we're going to have a go at I'll actually talk you through the first few, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Perfect.
Right. So we just close that book over, because the last thing you want is a book on your lap. Right, so because of the phase that we're at, it would normally be up to you to spot the emerges,
Yeah.
because I'm only partly trained and it's a new subject to me. I probably wouldn't know an emerge if it hit me on the end of the nose, yeah?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'll be expecting you to spot them, where you can come back and actually work me a bit harder on the phase 2. If we're doing this as a phase 2, you could say to me, right, tell me when you see an emerge, yeah?
Gotcha.
Yeah?
Yes.
Because
yeah.
I have actually done it before, haven't I?
Okie dokie.
Any questions on that you don't understand?
About a million, but
No, is there anything that doesn't make sense to you?
no, it all totally makes sense. Yeah.
Right, so remember I have done the mirror signal,
Yeah.
and I may have done parts of the positional side before, yeah?
Yeah.
And I know this is hard to understand, and you're thinking, well, if he's done this last week, why the bloody hell can't he do it without me talking him through it, yeah? But I will pass it over, I will take it off you as soon as I've heard you giving me the what, the why, and the how, and the consequences.
Right.
I will say to you, that's the same as what I've done last week. And then it's up to you to actually, to have the initiative to say, well, do you want to deal with that bit yourself on the next one? Because, it takes the work off you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, you will have to give me a prompt, yeah? And what mirror is he going to check? Yeah?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so The first thing you do is, in the car park, you get the examiner to set himself up, yeah?
Okay.
So, do his cockpit drill. And where would he have learned the cockpit drill?
He'll have learnt it on his first lesson.
Yeah. So he would know how to do it, how to set himself up, yeah?
Yeah.
But obviously you still need to watch him to a certain extent, yeah? And he'll do a bit of this and a bit of that. Watch him when he's setting the mirrors up, yeah? That he is actually sitting in his normal driving position, yeah?
Okay.
If the subject you're going to do is, let's say, emergency stop and use of mirrors, then it's very likely they're going to move a bit in the seat, yeah?
Right.
And obviously you'd need to spot that. If you didn't, then you would spot it on the move by every time I got to check that mirror, because I've done this to check it, and to be fair with the role play, I would have to move, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
So you would need to pull me over and think, just bite the bullet and say, right, just sit back in your seat and readjust that mirror again, yeah?
Okay.
But if you notice it right from the beginning, it's a lot easier, yeah? So just watch him as he does it, yeah? And then just ask him what he can see, yeah?
Gotcha, yeah.
So just ask me what I can see.
So, Tony, what can you see?
I can see the top and bottom of the back window, and I can see a bit of my headrest, and I can see a bit of yours. And I can see 2 finger widths and a bit of sky and a bit of road, and the same with that one, yeah? So I won't lie to you. That is the right answer. And I will actually change that description from now and again. And on the day you test, the SE will always give you a different answer at the phase 2 than he would at the phase 1, yeah?
Right, okay.
Yeah? It's just to let you know that he's a different pupil, yeah?
Yeah.
But providing he's been sitting in the seat in the right place, the answer they give you is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't start pulling your bucket and think, oh, that's not the answer that I'm used to,
Right.
yeah? Yeah. The answer will make sense, yeah?
Okay.
Right, so he's got himself all set up, so you just basically tell him to drive on when he's ready, yeah? So, we're looking out for these emerges, yeah?
Yeah.
And we've already got a clue, we know where the first one is, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah? Right, Tony, we see an emerge coming up, say,
Okay, so Tony, we've got an emerge coming up,
and we're going to turn left.
and we're going to turn left.
So, check the interior mirror,
Check the interior mirror.
check your left-hand door mirror.
Check your left-hand door mirror.
We're going to indicate about now, which is about 6 car lengths.
And we're going to indicate now, which is about 6 car lengths
Yeah.
away.
Now, cover the brake.
Cover the brake, please.
That's the control element, yeah? Now remember, covering the brake on its own won't stop me, yeah? So,
Okay.
so as we get near, brake the thickness of a pound coin, steer towards me, and tell me where you want me to stop.
And stop there, Tony.
Right. Now just tell me to select first gear, prepare the car to go as normal, but don't go anywhere until you tell me, yeah?
Okay, so select first gear, Tony. Prepare the car for move off, but do not move off until I tell you.
Right. So the first thing we need to teach me is how do I judge that I'm at this giveaway line. So ask me, where does the giveaway line cut into the car?
Where does the giveaway line cut into the car, Tony?
Oh, it's just underneath that door mirror. Now
Okay.
that's your reference point for
So that's your reference point for
not stopping over the white line.
Oh, okay. So that's your reference point for not stopping over the giveaway line.
Yeah, and back it up with a reason. If I stop over the giveaway line, am I a naughty boy or am I going to kill somebody?
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
So the reason why we stop before the giveaway line is if you have a car coming from your right hand side, it will have to swerve to avoid you, and it could end up in an accident situation with an oncoming car. or
Oh, right,
pedestrian.
yeah. And if I stop too far back?
And if you stop too far back, if you have a car coming up behind you, he may think that you haven't cancelled your indicator, so he may try and overtake you, the consequence of which is that he may drive into you when you're undertaking a manoeuvre, and his vision will be impeded on
right.
the emerge as well.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, hang on a bit. So as long as you keep an eye on them 2 mirrors there, and there's nobody coming up behind us, we can sit here and educate all day long, yeah?
Yeah.
So right now, we need to pick up a reference point so I don't run over any pedestrians on the pavement. Yeah.
Okay.
So where does the curb cut into the car?
So Tony, where does the curb cut into the car?
Oh, just near that tax disc.
Okay, that's fine.
And that's your reference point for?
So that's your reference point for your emerge when you turn left, so as not to cut over the curb. Consequence of that is you could injure a pedestrian coming towards
Right,
you.
yeah, I don't know, that happened in my first lesson, do it?
Fantastic. That's good. Good.
Right, so now we're going to talk about, because there's still nobody behind us. Well, there is now. Are they going around us? No.
No.
Right, so you just have to tell me where to look now. So just tell me, look to the right.
So look to the right, Tony.
Anybody coming?
Is there anybody coming?
Can't see anybody.
Good.
Look ahead for pedestrians.
Look straight ahead for pedestrians, please.
Nobody there. Look to the left.
Look to your left.
Anybody coming now?
Is there anybody coming?
Ahead
to
for
your left?
pedestrians.
Ahead for pedestrians.
Look to the right.
Look to your right. Is anybody coming?
And there's a car coming there.
Okay.
And then just as you emerge, it's very important, Tony, that you're looking in the direction that you're going to be steering.
Okay, so as you emerge, Tony, look in the direction that you're going to be steering.
Tell me
and
to steer
steering
left.
towards me.
Yeah. And then tell me to straighten up.
And straighten up, please.
Yeah. And new road, tell me to
And
check the interior mirror.
Check your interior mirror.
And check your right hand door mirror.
Check your right hand door mirror, please.
How did that feel?
I like that.
Right, so we're going to turn right here. Now, I will be able to handle right and left hand turns because I've done them last week, yeah?
Okay.
And you're probably sitting there thinking, well, how can he do this and he can't do that, yeah?
I'm not thinking that.
Right, that bit feel all right?
That was okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously we got quite a bit of education in there,
Yeah.
and that's what it's about. You're controlling me first,
Yeah.
and then you're educating me afterwards. You can't do it the other way around.
No.
Yeah? If I'm already gone out of the junction because you haven't controlled me on approach. Back there, Tony, it would have been a good idea if you'd have stopped at the giveaway line, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
We're still alive.
And why is that cyclist hanging onto the side of the window, yeah? Yeah, so that's what it's all about, yeah?
Yeah.
So providing you keep an eye on what's happening behind you,
Yeah.
you can hold me there and educate me, yeah?
Gotcha.
So which bit of education did we have to leave there at that last one? Because the car came up behind us.
We had to leave. When you've actually emerged, to.
You had to tell me where to look, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you had to tell me when to go, yeah?
Yeah.
Because we didn't have time to talk about the walk across, drive across, yeah?
Of course we didn't.
Yeah?
No.
Because obviously somebody came up behind us, so you just got me out under your control, yeah?
Gotcha.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
So, what can we see at the end of the road?
So at the end of the road we have an emerge.
Yep. And at that emerge, we're going to be turning left again.
At the emerge, Tony, we're going to be turning left, please.
So think about the routine you teach me: mirror, signal, position, speed, look routine. So check the interior mirror.
Okay, so check your interior mirror.
We're looking for distance and speed. And we're going to check the left-hand door mirror.
And because you're turning left, we need you to check the left door mirror.
Just
please.
check and see if any cyclists coming down the inside.
And check to see if there's any cyclists coming.
Signal about now, that's about 6 car lengths.
Yeah.
And we're going to cover the brake.
Cover the brake.
That's your control element. And then as I get near, you want to get me to steer towards you and then tell me when to stop.
And start steering towards me,
Yeah.
Tony. And stop, please. Select first gear.
Alright.
And
It's important to get first gear. It's important to get first gear.
it's important to get first gear. You don't want to emerge in second gear in case you stall.
Alright. So,
So where does the giveaway line cut into?
same
cut
place
into
the
the
last
car?
time, Andy, just underneath that door mirror.
Perfect, good positioning, well done.
And that's your reference point for...
And that's your reference point for not going over the giveaway line.
Yeah.
The reason why we do that is if you go over the giveaway line, if you have a car coming from your right to your left, it will have to avoid you, have to swerve into the middle of the road, which could cause an accident with an oncoming vehicle.
Alright, yeah. And where does the curb...
And where does the curb cut into the car on this side, Tony?
Oh, near that tax disc again, Andy.
Excellent positioning, well done. And totally forgot what I was going to say.
Well, the reason for that is we've got a young lad here with his toy car. If I was to mount the curb, what's going to happen to him?
Okay, so the reason why we do that, Tony, is if you have a pedestrian coming this way and the car actually cuts onto the curb, we could end up having an accident with a pedestrian passerby.
Yeah. and it's important that we don't stop too short of the giveaway line.
Yes, yeah. So it's important we don't stop too short of the giveaway line because that could confuse a car coming up behind us. He may think you've left your indicator on accidentally. He may try and overtake you. The consequences of which we're quite likely to have an accident together, or he could emerge in front of you and have an accident with an oncoming vehicle.
So now we're going to talk about the look. So look to the right, Tony.
So Tony, look to the right, please.
Is there anybody coming?
Is there anybody coming?
No. Now, if there was somebody coming.
So if there is somebody coming,
I need to be able to. How do I judge it?
So your judgment is if you're a pedestrian and you're walking across the road here and back again, if you can get that person across the road and back again, you have enough time to emerge.
Right, because I need to be able to not only emerge out in front of the car, but I need to be able to
get up to speed.
Yeah. So I mustn't force him to do the 4 S's, which is stop, slow, swerve, or swear at me. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Right, and then tell me where to look again.
So look to your right. Is anything coming, Tony?
No.
Look straight ahead. Any pedestrians?
Oh, no pedestrians.
Okay. Look to your left.
Bloke sitting in the van there, but he's not moving.
Okay.
Look ahead again for pedestrians.
Look ahead again for pedestrians.
Look right.
Look to your right. Is anything coming?
And if it's clear, and then as you start moving, Tony, make sure that you're looking in the direction that you're meant to be steering.
Okay.
Yeah?
Look in the direction you're meant to be steering. Steer towards me.
Yeah. And then straighten up. And then just check your interior mirror to see if anybody's followed you into the new road.
And check your interior mirror.
And check your right hand door mirror to see if anybody's overtaken you.
And check your right hand door mirror just to make sure no one's overtaken you.
And if they were, we'd let them go. Because if we didn't, they'd actually go into this car here, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, I would be able to handle this meeting situation here myself, yeah? Right, I'll handle this emerge myself.
Okay.
How did that feel?
Okay. Yeah, it's just getting it in the right order.
Yeah.
Just remembering.
Yeah, it's getting in
consequences all the time,
yeah.
isn't it?
It's got to be controlled first, yeah? And then you may well get a great opportunity to hold me there and educate me there.
Yeah.
Because the live emerge is a really good place to explain about. Well, it's the only place you can do the reference points.
Yeah.
And it's obviously the best place to explain about the walk across, drive across.
Yeah.
Because we're actually doing it at the place where we're actually doing it, aren't we?
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So, obviously then as you go around, they will be able to do left and right hand turns. They will be able to meet other vehicles, no problem.
Yeah.
That's your chance then to fill in blanks, yeah?
Right.
So obviously there is going to be some blanks there that you need to fill in. We indicate about 6 car lengths away.
Yeah.
Why?
To give road and pavement users enough notice to let them know our intention.
To react, yeah?
Yeah.
Gives them time to react, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But there will be occasions, Tony, where we will have to signal a bit later than 6 car lengths because there might be a turning just before the emerge.
Yes.
And if we were to indicate before that turning, then somebody coming out of that turning might well think we're turning into it.
Yeah.
And it could pull out and there'd be an accident.
Okay.
So we're going to take the next turning to the left.
Okay, Tony, can you take the next turning to the left, please?
So we'll be able to handle this alright because it's actually a crossroads anyway.
Okay.
Now what do you see at the end of the road?
And Tony, at the end of the road, you have an emerge.
Yeah. And we're going to turn right.
And at the end of the road, I'd like you to turn right.
So you want to check the interior mirror.
Check your interior mirror, please.
Check the distance and speed. Check your right hand door mirror if anybody's overtaking us.
Check your right-hand door mirror to make sure no one is overtaking us.
Pop the signal on now, just about 6 car lengths.
And put your signal on now, about 6 car lengths away.
Now tell me to steer towards me.
Steer towards me.
Me.
You.
steer
steer towards
you and then straighten up.
Okay, steer towards you, then straighten up.
And then get me to stop. Yeah? Now, there's nobody behind us, so
Yep.
you know we're not causing any hassle.
Okay.
We're now in the left of centre position, yeah?
Yes.
And we need to pick up a reference point for that so I can eventually do it on my own.
Yeah.
So just ask me, where does the centre line cut into the car?
So where does the centre line cut into the car at the moment, Tony?
Oh, just about there, Andy.
Okay.
Now that is your reference point for...
That's your reference point for emerging right.
For being left to centre.
For being left to centre,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
And it's important to be left to centre, because if I'm too far over the white line and somebody comes around the corner, it could be a fire engine on its way to a fire,
Yeah.
I've got the roadblocks, haven't I?
Yes.
It's important I'm not sitting over on the left hand side, because anybody come up behind me would just assume I've left my right hand indicator
Yeah.
on, and might well just overtake me. And as I drive up to make my way to the emerge, we actually collide with each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah. Now I've had 2 goals at this reference point for the giveaway line. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the first time I've done it on a right hand turn, so we'll just be a little bit cautious about asking me to handle it on my own at this stage. Yeah?
Okay.
So it's not going to vary. So just actually tell me where to stop when we get to the giveaway line, yeah?
Okay, Tony, I'd like you to stop just here, please.
Probably a little bit further forward.
And stop just here.
That's it.
Thank you.
Now just ask me where does the giveaway line cut into the car?
And where does the giveaway line cut into the car on your
Oh,
side?
it's the same place, Andy. So I
Perfect.
just need that door mirror. Now you could probably ask me this time, why is it important to not to encroach on this giveaway line?
Okay, so why is it important not to encroach on this giveaway line here, Tony?
Didn't you say that if I encroach over that line and there's a car coming from my right, he might have to swerve around me?
Absolutely.
And
what's
he
the
might
consequence
hit a
of
car coming that way?
that? Absolutely right.
What about if you were too far back from the giveaway line, Tony?
And what about if you were too far back from the giveaway line?
Didn't you say I might have trouble seeing?
There is that. Is there
And,
another reason you could think of?
Oh yeah, that guy comes up behind me and thinks I'm a plonker because he thinks I've left my indicator on.
Quite right.
And he overtakes me and he hits a car turning into the road, doesn't he?
Okay, and he could also hit us at the same
Yeah,
time as
yeah.
well.
That's good. Right. So now we're going to do the look routine, yeah? So the look routine is going to be slightly different this time, because I didn't come from my right this time. We need to change it around to I'm only crossing the path, yeah?
Yeah.
But anybody coming from my left, I'm going to be going into the path,
That's
though,
the
yeah?
other. Yes. Okay.
So we look to the right, Tony.
So, Tony, look to the right, please.
I can't really see very much, Andy.
Okay. What we need to do is look forward. Is there any pedestrians ahead of you?
No.
And look to the right again.
Yeah, I can't really see very much.
Okay. What we need to do is what we call creep and peep.
Good one, well done. Yeah, so I just
So I'd like you to just very slowly creep forwards,
and then tell me when to stop.
and I'll tell you when to stop. And stop, please.
Alright. And just get me to lean that body forward a bit as well, yeah?
Lean your body forward a little
Yeah.
bit, Tony. And
Is there anybody coming from the right?
look to your right. Is there anything coming?
No.
Look straight ahead.
No, if there was.
Yeah. So if there is anyone coming, your reference point is if someone can cross that road.
We.
Try to find get the wording for that.
Yeah, so we can judge it that if I can walk from here
Yeah.
to the other side of the from this curb to that curb,
Yeah.
then because I'm only crossing the path of that car, I should have time to drive it without interfering with the car,
Okay.
yeah?
Yeah.
And if anybody's come up from the left, like there is now, yeah?
Yeah.
I need to be able to walk from the curb here to the curb over there and walk
Yeah.
back again, because I'm going into their path, and therefore not only do I need to get out in front of them, but I need to get speed up so I don't force them to do the 4 S's, which is slow,
Slow, swerve, swear, and
stop.
stop.
Yeah? Right, so tell me where it looked again. So I look to the right.
Look to the right, Tony.
Anybody
Anything coming?
No.
Okay. Look
Look
straight ahead.
What am I looking for again?
You're looking. Sorry. Look straight ahead. Any pedestrians?
Yeah, always use that P word, yeah? It's really
Yeah.
important, pedestrians, yeah?
Okay.
And look to the left.
Look to your left. Is there
Anybody
anything coming?
No. Look ahead for